What's the first thing you think of when you hear Danganronpa? Do you think of the teddy bear guy? Maybe one of the other characters? Or maybe you think about how annoying every Danganronpa fan is online? For me, it was the latter. I mean, anytime I came across one of these fuckers in the wild, they probably said some dumb shit to piss me off. You know, anyone who's rocking a Chiaki profile picture is probably fundamentally a terrible person. This was my only exposure to the Danganronpa franchise for years. I just refused to touch it. That is, until a few weeks ago when I decided, sort of on a whim, to stream through the first game. My girlfriend had gifted me the first 2 games years ago and I just never got around to playing them. My friends had been hounding me to play it for a while, so I gave it a shot. And that was when my opinion of Danganronpa was flipped entirely on its head. The first chapter was a good introduction, but nothing mind-blowing. The game is focused on teaching you the game mechanics first and foremost, so the overall mystery was kept at a minimum. Sayaka's death was something I think every human being could see coming, and they literally spell out who the killer is for you. I figured this out pretty quick, but that didn't ruin things for me. I had plenty of fun just watching the characters unfold the mystery, but there really weren't any plot twists. I will say the only thing I didn't see coming was the demise of Junko. This is a character I've always associated with Danganronpa. I assume she was one of the more popular ones who got a lot of screen time, but I guess she just dies instantly, which is kind of funny. When I first saw her, I got so many evil vibes from her that I figured she just had to be the killer at some point, but I don't know, I guess it was just nice that my expectation was immediately subverted. That's really all I have to say on Chapter 1 though. I liked all the characters so far. Even Sayaka, who was so obviously about to die, had some really nice character moments. The game does force you to hang out with her a lot, but I think these character moments are what helps you get attached to the cast. You think for a second that they're real people and forget that they're just pixels behind a screen. Because some of the stuff Sayaka said specifically just resonated with me. The writing in this game is really good. Anyway, on to Chapter 2. The chapter starts with a bit of reflection from the cast on what just happened, some Monokuma shenanigans, and an introduction to the rooms on the newly unlocked 2nd floor. Byakuya goes sicko mode, and then you're given free time. How you spend your free time in Danganronpa doesn't really affect much, except for one thing. You get to know the characters better. Now in Chapter 1, you're pushed to hang out with Sayaka. I don't know if it's forced by the game or not, I just went along with it because I wanted to hang out with her. That and I knew she was gonna die, so enjoy it while you last. But now you're given total free reign on who to hang out with and what to do. The 3 characters I primarily hung out with were Kyoko, because I liked her in Chapter 1 and wanted to get to know her, Mondo, because he's funny, and Chihiro, because my Twitch subs told me to. And if someone who gives me money tells me to do something, well, I'm going to do it. I can already hear you giggling behind the screen because of those last 2, but don't worry, I'll get to that. I like Mondo. He's a funny guy, swearing up and down all the time. I like that his name and his brother's name are JoJo references, very subtle. And I think his interactions with the rest of the cast are, well, they're funny. Especially that sonnet scene, which at first I thought was just a funny one-off scene that existed for the sake of being silly. Yeah. Chihiro's character was really nice to get to know too. I also get bit by mosquitoes, except I kill those bitches the second I see them. Learning how Chihiro got into programming was also pretty cool. Then the whole Monokuma is going to leak your secret thing happened, and I didn't take much away from it. Everyone freaked out about it as anyone would, and I knew that the murder was coming, but nothing could have prepared me for what was about to happen. In that moment, time seemed to freeze. No! God damn it. God, oh my god. Dude, no, it makes sense because Charcoal made me hang out with her like a bunch, so I got attached. No, this sucks. I think I took it pretty well. Of course, while there was some build up to this, I still didn't see it coming. I just assumed all of Chihiro's self-loathing from the beginning was just part of her character. I should have known that any character who talks about wanting to improve themselves in this game is destined for death. Instantly, my mind started trying to figure out who done it. I was pretty sure right away it couldn't have been Toko. She was too obvious, and Byakuya was kinda hinted at, but that man can't lift up a dumbbell. He isn't built like that. My immediate suspect was Sakura, because she was one of the characters who was growing closer to Chihaya, talking about how she was gonna help her train and stuff. I figured the setup was perfect, it was right there. And then towards the end of the trial, it became obvious who the culprit was. Well, because they said it was a guy, right? No. Wait. He said he would protect her. No fucking way, man. How does he know the color of the suit?
He was wearing the same blue tracksuit.
There we go.
What's wrong? Did you just say?
Jesus.
What'd I say?
Man.
she never said anything about the jacket's color.
Damn.
Men and women differently.
Oh shit.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happen to refer to him as dude.
I thought that was weird. I noticed that he said dude. But I was just like, okay, whatever. That's like weird. But something in the back of my mind really did click when he said dude. And it blew my mind. Which sucks because, like I said, Mondo was one of my favorite characters. He's funny and he has a good backstory. Unlike Leon's murder of Sayaka, Mondo's actions weren't in self-defense. He just had a bad moment and got pissed off. And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for the old Freudian slip. I really like this twist. Of course, we the audience already knew the tracksuit was blue because we saw it in the flashback, but that doesn't mean Makoto knew it or any of the other characters. I think the best example of this is the sauna scene. Such an inconsequential scene when you first experience it, but then the payoff it has later is just perfect. Now going into the next chapter, I'm gonna be hyper aware and really pay attention to everything each character says and see if I can figure out the culprit before it even happens. But yeah, that was it. Finding out Mondo did it is when I knew this game was actually really fucking good. Once his guilt was revealed, he readily admitted to it, and I just sat there in silence, absorbing the impact of his words. Letting him explain his backstory in detail. Okay, this is such a minor thing, but I wish this game had more of its scenes fully voice acted. I know it's a budget PSP visual novel from 2010, but this emotional scene, that's the end of it all for Mondo, just feels a little lacking without full dialogue. And I couldn't bring myself to do my funny Mondo voice. Oh yeah. My brother's dead.
This is so sad.
Sorry, that's not funny. It was so out of nowhere. Sorry to do this, but I have to compare it to Persona real quick. Almost every major story beat in that game is voice acted, and the social links for the individual characters at least have the endings and key moments with voice dialogue. Again, it's not a deal breaker for me or anything, but I just wish it was there. Thanks so much for watching. This was just a one-off video I made on a whim after finishing chapter 2. I don't know if it's gonna stay the best part of the game for me or not. Maybe after I finish the game I'll make another video giving my thoughts on the whole. I stream Danganronpa every Thursday at 8 PM, so be sure to follow me over on Twitch and join my Discord server so you don't miss out.